Today, we're going to be installing a winch on my black Grand Cherokee. So in this box, I have a new winch from OPENROAD. They made this winch and sent it over to us. It's a 13,000 pound winch. It comes with synthetic line, which is really awesome. Also comes with wireless controllers, which is also a huge plus. These are going to come in so handy on the trails. It's so annoying to have to run this wire off the winch, through the window, sit in the driver's seat, hold the controls. These will be so much easier to use. So we're gonna go ahead and get this installed on the Jeep. So we've got everything unboxed here, and it actually comes with quite a bit compared to a standard winch that people put on these Jeeps. So we have the wired controller, synthetic line, which most of the cheaper winches actually come with steel cables. So I'm super happy to have synthetic, way safer, and I'm a bigger fan of synthetic. That's what I'm running on the Warn winch. On the Wrangler, we have the Fairlead, which this is a Fairlead 4 synthetic line, so I'm glad they got that right. 2 wireless controllers actually, which is super nice. We'll go ahead and get a little mount to put inside the Jeep and hold it up in there. We have the hook for the end of the line. We'll probably actually swap that out in the future with something from Factor 55 or something similar to that. We have the control box with all the wiring. Then we have an extra negative, all the hardware, the fuse relay thing. And then I believe these are spacers, because on certain bumpers you do need spacers in order to clear the winch on the bumper. However, I don't think that's going to be an issue for us. I do know Dylan from Jeep Guys on the Line had to get some of these for his Warn winch on his DV8 bumper for his JL. I think we'll be good, honestly, without them, but we have them just in case. So let's go ahead, carry this over there, take all the hardware, and we'll start with bolting this down, getting all the wiring set up. Then we'll run the wires wherever we want and get everything figured out from there. Now, if we do like this winch, I'll probably pick up another one for the blue Jeep because it's a lot cheaper than a Warn winch. And before you guys go commenting, oh, Warn is the best, Warn is that, I've had a Harbor Freight winch on this Jeep for the last 3 years, and I've had absolutely no issues with it. And that Jeep's barely going to get driven, and when it does, that Jeep will be there with a Warn winch on the front to pull it out if we have to. If I don't like this winch, though, we'll go ahead and just pick up another Warn winch and throw it on that one once we make the bumpers for it. Actually, I was wrong. We're going to go ahead and install this first. I made that mistake on the red Jeep and had to take the winch back off to install this. So we're going to go ahead and put the Fairlead on first. Then we'll put the winch onto the bumper. The Fairlead is on. It looks so good being all black, just like the rest of the Jeep. So let's go ahead and grab the winch and then put that on. All right, so now we got the Fairlead installed and we have the winch installed. So we should be good to go. I have the black wire installed on the bottom because you're going to want to make sure you put that on before you bolt down the winch, or else you're going to be taking it back off. So let's go ahead and get the rest of the wires. We'll go ahead and install all that, get everything buttoned up, finished. And I do actually want to test this. So we're going to pull one of the Jeeps, either the blue one or the red one, down the hill, and then we'll go ahead and try to winch it up the hill with this winch, see how it does, see if it holds up, and see if it can pull the Jeeps back up the hill. All right, so all the wires are hooked up correctly. Now it's time to run the 2 of them that go to the battery. So I'm gonna have to go get my custom hood strut. That's the exhaust for the Wrangler. Hold the hood up, then we'll hook this all up, get it put on battery, and see if this winch can pull this Wrangler all the way up the driveway. So I have the wires all hooked up just to test this. Definitely not final setup. I'm actually gonna have to get a grill insert from ZKD Customs to make this look way better. Same one I have in my Wrangler, but we got them temporarily routed through here up to the battery. I'm gonna go grab the battery charger and hook it up. Then we'll test this winch out and see if we can pull the Wrangler all the way up the driveway. All right, so we got the winch hooked up to the back of the Grand Cherokee. The Wrangler's battery was dead, so I just hooked it to this. Figured it'd be cooler anyway. So we're gonna go ahead and see if this winch can pull in the Grand Cherokee on the slight hill. I mean, it's a pretty good test just to see if it'll pull the weight and how it'll do. The only complaint I have so far is it seems like the clutch thing inside there won't disengage, so you can't free spool it. Now, I could be doing it wrong, but I've spun that 15 times and it won't disengage. So that's a slight complaint, but let's go ahead and see if this will pull in the Grand Cherokee. So it did that really with no struggle. So I'm super pleased with that outcome because these 2 will probably be off-roading together. I actually have some big news regarding this one and some other details of why I haven't been uploading as much recently. Been working a ton behind the scenes, but I'll update you guys on that in a future video once we get all the details figured out. But as far as this OPENROAD 13,000 pound winch, I am super pleased with how it came, besides the fact that I can't get it to disengage. That could be an issue with just this specific unit. I'll go ahead and contact them and see if maybe I'm doing it wrong. I follow directions and everything, but you can spin this so many times around. You just lift up and spin, and it is not disengaging. So I can't free spool it, which sort of sucks, but for this Jeep, it's okay, and we'll run it for this Jeep. But as you see, it could pull the Grand Cherokee. I think next up is an off-road test with this Jeep, trying to recover this Jeep stuck in the swamp. So comment down below if you guys want to see that. All right, guys, so it just started raining, so unfortunately we're not going to get to test the winch much more today. However, how would you guys like to see us take the black Grand Cherokee off-roading and kind of set up a little recovery with the blue Grand Cherokee? There's a few spots I can purposely get the Grand Cherokee stuck and see if we can recover it. If you guys would like to see that, let me know down in the comments. Also, I'll have a video coming out shortly with why the uploads have slowed down a little bit and what I've been working on behind the scenes. You guys are really going to like this one. I made a post on the community tab, I believe 3 days ago. So for a little hint, you guys can go check that out, but you guys aren't going to want to miss this update. This is probably the biggest thing and biggest news that's ever come to our channel. Now, to give you guys like kind of a more better opinion, and now that I'm in the garage out of the rain, I can go ahead and do that for you. For the price, it's not a bad winch. The only complaint I have is not being able to get it to disengage to where I can free spool the line out of the winch, because that makes everything so much easier when you're off-road. It saves a ton of time. So since we can't do that, I can't say it's a perfect winch. However, for the price, it definitely did a pretty good job. And I'll link it down below if you guys want to check it out and possibly pick one up for yourself. They sent this one over, and for a free winch, it's doing pretty good. However, I am kind of stuck on that not disengaging thing because it's a pretty big feature of a winch. So I'm gonna have to reach out to them and see if I may be doing something wrong or the directions were incorrect or what's going on there. But that's just my honest opinion on this winch. I told you guys from the start, I'm not gonna tell you something's perfect if it's not, just because I got it for free. This is my honest opinion. It can pull. It's rated to 13,000 pounds, so we're definitely gonna have to test that out in the future. But it doesn't disengage, so I can't really get over that. I also know a big turnoff on this winch and some complaints that people are going to have on it is that it's made overseas. And just to let you guys know, Warren actually has a whole line of winches that are made overseas. Now, some of them are made in the USA, and actually the one that's on the Wrangler is a USA made one, but they also offer some that are made overseas and they're a lot cheaper. And so I don't really want to get a bunch of comments saying, oh, it's a overseas winch, it's not the best, whatever. It does the job. All the Harbor Freight winches are made overseas. So it's just like the other ones that are in the same price range. It's similar design, similar setup. It's actually kind of reminds me exactly of a Harbor Freight winch, just slightly different, a little bit more features and all that stuff. But that wraps up this video, and we got the winch all installed. Got a little bit of a test out, pulling the blue Grand Cherokee up the driveway. So as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.